Hi, my name is Thomas and you're watching Casual DIY channel. In today's video I will be checking out this cordless sliding compound miter saw from Trend. Check out the video. Before we begin, a word of information for you guys. This tool has been gifted to me by Trend to use it, check it out, and so on. Now, the collaboration I've got with Trend is on basis that I've got a total free hand. So I can do whatever I want, I can say whatever I want. I actually don't have to make any videos on anything that they've sent me. So with that out of the way, you can be assured that what I think about this tool, it's absolutely my own personal opinion and my own thoughts. So there's no script with it. Okay, with that out of the way, let's check out what's in the box. Okay then, so a couple of specs about this machine. The whole setup is 18 volt. You actually get in the package 2 5 amps batteries and obviously a charger. RPMs 3600. It actually comes also with a laser, which is quite cool. It's a neat addition. The blade size is 184mm with a bore hole of 16mm. The whole thing weighs just under 10 kilograms. Now the cut capacity in this case, at 90 degrees you've got 51mm of depth cut and 210mm when it comes to the wideness of the board. When you change the miter angle to 45, the depth of cut can be 35mm up to 35mm, and it can tackle a board that's 210mm wide. When we're actually going to change the saw to a compound cut, i.e. bevel 45, miter 45, then the depth of cut is reduced to 35mm, and it can tackle a board that's 155mm wide. The whole package comes with a blade as well and a 3-year warranty. Okay, let's set this bad boy up. Now the sides, you got some side supports, they just extend like that. You got 2 knobs on each side to secure them so they stay in a nice steady position. Simple solution, and it gives you about 77 centimeters of supported work. Okay, you've got some stops over here. You've got a knob at the back over here to stop the sliding motion. Plus you've got a stop for the head of the saw, so it remains in this position. And when you put the sides together like so, it's actually a very neat and compact tool that you can take with you anyway, and it's really lightweight, so that will make it far easier to carry around on your job site or in your garden, anywhere you need it to. So that's definitely a great point for this miter saw. At the front of the machine you've got the indicators of what miter degree you're currently on, with that little indicator where currently you are. And to change the miter, change the angles is ever so simple. At the front you've got the knob over here, undo that slightly, then you've got the lever underneath and change to whichever degree you want. Also the saw comes with some positive stops, for example 15, 22.5, 30, 45. So it's nice and simple and easy to set up your demanded angle. On top of it, as mentioned, it comes with this handy little clamp that just goes in there, and you can clamp your workpiece really easily and quickly. The slot for this clamp is on both sides of the saw. On top of it, what I really like, the dust extraction port, depending on how big is your hose for your shop vac, so that's always a handy thing. And obviously a dust bag, but I've got a shop vac, so I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to hook up my shop vac to it, and it's ever so simple to do. I'm actually going to use the adapter that came with it. It's a rubber adapter, so it fits really well in the dust port just over here, and thanks to that my shop vac fits absolutely perfectly, nicely and snugly. Next, really quickly, I just want to show you, this is the laser that comes with this saw, and that's the stop button to stop the blade from spinning, so you can actually replace it. And fortunately enough, to change the blade, to undo the bolt over here at the flange, you've got the key for it just over here stored on the machine, so you don't have to look for it. It's already there for you if you need it. On top of it, you're going to use this key to actually adjust your fence. It's a one-piece fence with 2 bolts on either of the ends, and both of the batteries come with an indicator of how much juice they still got in them, so that's pretty handy. Let's whack one in. Simple as that. The saw, even with the battery, is still very lightweight, easy to handle. Another feature I want to highlight to you is a depth stop. Yes, this saw comes with a depth stop. So for example, you can do, I don't know, half lap joints. So you undo this little bolt, take the ledge out, dull the bolt back up again. And now this bolt over here, after setting it up to the correct length, you will be able to stop the head of the machine, stop at certain depth of cut. As I mentioned before, you can do, for example, your half lap joints like that. When you don't need it, you can undo the screw up or simply remove the ledge. However, to be absolutely honest with you, nowadays, I would think in a tool like that, I would probably like to have a smarter solution than this. This is very simple and it works. However, unscrewing it and screwing it back on, it probably would be a lot nicer if it had some sort of a lever or anything like that, that you don't have to spend time messing around with a screwdriver to set this up. Also, at the back of this saw, you've got a knob here that if you release that, you can then change the saw to whichever bevel angle you want. You've got positive stops for 0 degrees on the right hand side, and then the other one for 45 degrees. You can set it up and make sure you've got nice accurate cuts each time. If you want to use the laser guide on this saw, there's a switch over here at the top of the handle, just behind it. You can turn it on and off to whatever you're liking. And as you can see on the handle, you've got the button here to turn on the saw with this little security pin, so you have to move it to the side. And now you can turn on the saw. To give you an indication of how loud it actually is, we're going to use my measuring device just over here to tell us, well, basically how loud it is. We're about 1 meter away from the machine, so let's test it out. It's actually not bad at all. I would actually say it's bloody quiet. But for the best comparison, I'm just going to show you how loud my Evolution miter saw is. Okay, so we've talked about more or less all the basics features. There's nothing surprising over here. There's nothing concerning in this design, and the layout is just a solid miter saw. But the question is, out of the box, how square is it? Now, don't get me wrong. I am a strong believer that any tool that's arriving to your doorstep, to your workshop, needs setting up, period. That's it. And the notion that a tool out of the box should be absolutely perfect, guys, it may be perfect in the factory. However, it needs to get from that factory to the store and then to you. And usually it's a very long and bumpy ride. So I would not expect this miter saw to be absolutely 100% accurate. Hence, I've actually made a video how to tune up a miter saw. I'm going to drop a link to it down below in the description of this video, so you can have a look yourself how to tune up your miter saw. For example, if you're going to buy one of these bad boys. Out of curiosity, let's have a look how accurate it is out of the box as is. First of all, let's have a look at the laser. I'm actually curious how accurate that is, as usually, well, they're not very accurate just outside from the box. So let's draw, let's make a line just in the middle like that. We'll switch on the laser. Okay, let's line it up. Well, at least it's definitely square. I hope you're going to be able to see this, but it is absolutely perfect on the whole distance, on the whole reach of the arm. It marries up with the teeth of the blade. So yeah, that's actually very accurate. Now let's check if the table is square to the blade itself. I'm going to be using my angle finder, so that's zeroed at the base. Let's whack it on the blade, and I can't believe it, it's at perfect 90 degrees. Hope you're going to be able to see that. Perfect 90, a tool out of a box. Okay, so that's two things that well, the square, the laser, and the table to the blade. Quite impressed with that. And now I'm going to have a look if the fence is square to the blade itself. Now the blade is actually quite small, hence I'm going to try to measure this by touching my square up to the teeth of the blade. And again, I have to say, it's pretty damn square. Okay, but let's make some test cuts to see if it's really that square. So first of all, we're going to check the squareness of the fence to the blade itself. I've got this piece of 12mm plywood. I've got some arrows. That side will go on the fence. We'll cut that off, flip it over and butt it against each other. So then we'll see if there's any gaps. If there are some gaps there, that means the fence needs adjusting. Okay, so that's the piece that we just cut off. Okay, we'll flip it over and let's have a look if there are any gaps. I have to say, there's absolutely nothing. It's a perfect cut. And with the blade, look at that. Really nice and crisp cut. For the next test cut, we're going to place our board vertical, and we'll make the cut and see how that's going to go. That will tell us if the blade is square to the table. Right, and so that's the pieces we just cut off, as you can see. And let's flip this over. And there is absolutely no gaps at all. Perfect cut again. And look at the quality from the blade itself. Really good. Now I just want to show you very quickly how easy it is to do 45-degree mitre cuts. We'll do a bevel cut as well, just to show you how easy it is to, well, change it all and work. And there you go, really decent results. Nothing to moan about really. At the moment, I've got no major issues with it. I've got no problems with it. It's a solid tool. But as you know me and you know my channel, the main review of this tool will come in a few months down the road when I actually had some time, proper time, to spend with this tool and full-on projects that I can tackle with it. At that point, then I will be able to tell you if it's actually any good, was there any issues with it, what limitations it had, or maybe it actually surpassed my expectations as a battery powered tool. So make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that video, and change that bell notification icon to all to make sure you won't miss any of my future videos. Now, one thing that you should not be expecting from this tool is a great dust collection. It's not, it sprays the dust absolutely everywhere, more or less like every other mitre saw, so there's nothing strange here. Before you decide buying this, for example, particular mitre saw, you have to think about the capacity. What can it actually cut? It's only 184mm size blade. Now, because it's a sliding mitre saw, it does have that reach of 210mm, so that is actually a fairly decent reach, and it gives you a lot of scope in your projects. However, depth wise, you are limited to 51mm. In most cases that's enough. It all depends what you do, what kinds of projects you need doing. I would absolutely recommend this to anybody that does skirting boards, moldings, anything like that. That will be absolutely perfect. It's small, it's compact, and it's lightweight. You can take it absolutely anywhere, and yeah, for that, absolutely great. For a small workshop, that potentially is also a fantastic tool. Again, the small footprint of it, the lightweight, you can store it anywhere. So from that perspective, it's quite good as well. Now, the build quality overall is solid. There's nothing I'm gonna say that's, I've not found anything bad, although I've not found anything amazing about it either. It's just a solid mitre saw. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The price of this tool, with the battery pack and all that, the one exactly I've got, I believe on Amazon, it's about 400 British pounds, 399 or something like that. It is a lot of money. Now, do you need a cordless machine? Because for that money, you probably can buy something a lot bigger, a lot better, maybe with more features, that's corded. Now that's up to you. From my perspective, it's a basic, solid mitre saw. Cordless one to adding to that, with 2 batteries, 5 amps. It's a nice package. There's nothing wrong with it, although it doesn't have any additional mind-blowing features. It's just a very basic mitre saw. I would probably consider this saw if it was on offer somewhere, or if you've got a business and you're doing skirting boards and moldings and all that all day, then yeah, by all means this saw would probably fit your needs quite well. So I'll leave it in your hands. I'm going to drop a link to this saw in the description of this video. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it at the moment. But if you're not in a rush of buying one, just hang on a few months when I do the review of this tool, and I'll let you know exactly what I think about it after spending some more decent time with it. But for now, guys, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Take care.